All aboard and welcome to our podcast, GoddeSShips, where we discuss how ships affect lives. For those of you who are returning, thank you for your continued support and welcome back. And for those of you who are just joining us, welcome and we hope to see you again. Goddesses and gods, remember that we are available wherever you listen to your podcasts, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, GeoSavin, iHeartRadio, and of course, here on YouTube. I am Keely, the soul snatching goddess.
And I am excuse me. I am Melinda, the fat goddess.
Hello world, I'm Floyd God.
All right.
And we would like for you to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast and bang the notification bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes.
Yes. We have our number one fan already here. Lele's in the house. Y'all ain't gonna tell Lele, hey.
Hey, Lele.
That's what happens. All right, time for some shirt cam. So I will go first. My shirt says you're looking at a masterpiece. Thank you very much. Lele said Floyd got that red light on. Yes, he read like special night.
Oh, Lord.
Melinda, do you have shirt cam tonight?
I can do it if you want me to.
It's up to you. Do you want to?
Nah.
Well, okay. And we know Floyd don't have it.
Taco meat.
Well, before getting started tonight, I do want to apologize for us missing last week. I was a bit under the weather. We were traveling on that Monday earlier. I didn't have a voice, but we back now. So good to see y'all. Woohoo! DC said, you looking like an album cover, Floyd.
Oh, what's up, Kool-Aid?
Don't tell him that, Kool-Aid. Jesus Christ.
Come on, album cover.
Started already with the hate. All right.
So tonight's episode is still a part of the Get to Know Us series. So this week we're going to talk about the 5 love languages. And do you know?
I need to get it together.
We're going to get it together. So the 5 love languages and what they are. So it's 5. The 5 are words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, receiving gifts, and physical touch. So let's dive in. I'll give the definition of what each one means, and then we all took the quiz. We'll go over our results from there. So in terms of receiving gifts, don't mistake this love language for materialism. The receiver of gifts thrives on the love, thoughtfulness, and effort behind the gift. If you speak this language, the perfect gift or gesture shows that you are known, you are cared for, you are prized above whatever was sacrificed to bring the gift to you. A missed birthday or a hasty, thoughtless gift would be disastrous. So would the absence of everyday gestures, gifts of heartfelt symbols to you, of someone else's love and affection for you. Words of affirmation. Actions don't always speak louder than words. If this is your love language, unsolicited compliments mean the world to you. Hearing the words "I love you" are important. Hearing the reasons behind that love sends your spirits skyward. Insults can leave you shattered and are not easily forgotten. You thrive on hearing kind and encouraging words that build you up. QT. In quality time, nothing says I love you like full, undivided attention. Being there for this type of person is critical, but really being there with the TV off, fork and knife down, and all chores and tasks on standby makes you feel truly special and loved. Distractions, postponed activities, or the failure to listen can be especially hurtful, whether it's spending uninterrupted time talking with someone else or doing activities together. You deepen your connection with others through sharing time. Acts of service. Can helping with homework really be an expression of love? Absolutely. Anything you do to ease the burden of responsibilities weighing on an acts of service person will speak volumes. The words he or she most wants to hear, let me do that for you. Laziness, broken commitments, and making more work for them tell speakers of this language their feelings don't matter. When they serve you out of love and not obligation, you feel truly valued and loved. And finally, physical touch. A person whose primary language is physical touch is not surprisingly very touchy. Hugs, pats on the backs, thoughtful touches on the arm, they can all be ways to show excitement, concern, care, and love. Physical presence and accessibility are crucial, while neglect or abuse can be unforgivable and destructive. Appropriate and timely touches communicate warmth, safety, and love to you. So, these are all based on Gary Chapman's book, The Five Love Languages. And it said that if you know your love languages, you can better tailor how you show your partner love and how they also speak your language to you. So when you start taking the quiz, it does ask if you're an adult, a teen, or if you're taking it for a child, because all of those vary a little bit. And so now, because we took them, we'll go through and discuss our love language. Oh, Dave Atkins is also checking in.
Hey,
How you
Dave.
doing?
Right on, Dave. What's going on, brother?
All right. So who wants to start, or should I start?
You
Ladies
should.
first.
I should start. Okay. So my results, my main love language is receiving gifts. What was that? What was that?
Nothing.
Lele said hers is QT. So with my receiving gifts, because and I can see why that's kind of my love language in a way, because when I give people gifts, I put a lot of thought into the gift because that's what I would want for somebody to do for me. Um, and sometimes they're very unusual gifts, and people get pretty jealous at the gifts I give because they be like, "Oh, they loved your gift so much." Yeah, because I put thought into it. Do the same. But anyway, so my other ones, I had three that tied for second, which were QT, acts of service, and words of affirmation. And they all were at 20%. So like my main one was at 23. Um, and then physical touch was at 17, which I'm a little surprised at because I like to cuddle and make out. So I don't know why it was the last one, but oh well. That was mine. Of course, Floyd always says ladies first. So Melinda. Oh well, let's go back to me first. So, do y'all feel like that seemed like that was appropriate for me?
Yep.
So why did you snicker at receiving gifts, ma'am?
Because you always receiving gifts. Whether you want them or not.
What gifts am I always receiving? I'll always receive gifts.
You have had suitors that have given you gifts.
Are they not supposed to?
I'm just saying it makes sense. That's your love language.
But I didn't tell them. Like it just happened.
I think it was him moving in his chair.
No,
Oh.
I hit my knee against my desk. Carry on.
Oh,
Oh.
you okay?
I'm good. Carry on.
Dave said his are acts of service, words of affirmation, hers, physical touch, and QT.
Right
Oh.
on.
All right. I see y'all love language is right. All right. Melinda. So Miss Fat Goddess took
Yes.
hers years ago.
I know.
She's always on her up and up.
So I'm sorry for the clearing my throat. I was nodding before the podcast. Woo, jeez.
So do you want me to do yours?
No, I got it pulled up.
Okay.
So as the soul snatching goddess was saying, I took mine years ago, and back then they just assigned a number to the different love languages, so they didn't give a percentage. So I had a 9 for quality time, an 8 for physical touch, a 6 for words of affirmation, a 5 for receiving gifts, and a 2 for acts of service. So, quality time and physical touch were only 1 point apart. And then for second, words of affirmation and receiving gifts were only 1 point apart. So I'm just a myriad of love, a plethora of different love languages.
No plethora.
But quality time, that definitely makes sense for me because that's what I like. Like, I want to be in your space. I want to be in your face. And back then, what it said for quality time is, and quality time, did you say, I can't remember what you said. Did it say nothing says I love you like full undivided attention?
Give me a second. Yes. Being there for this type of person is critical, but really being there with the TV off, fork and knife down, and all chores and tasks.
Okay, so that part is the same.
Yes.
So that, I would say that's definitely me.
All right, Miss QP.
I might get a little irritable if you're not giving me attention.
Oh.
Undivided. And that old physical touch, that's that other side of the Pisces.
We ain't gonna talk about that other side. Fish be wet with water.
Yeah. So I would definitely say that it fits me.
Okay.
It's pretty accurate.
Okay. And I see your acts of service is way down there.
Girl, what? Helping with homework and all that? Yeah, anybody got time for that?
It ain't necessarily homework, but it's like what your chores.
Well, that's one of the examples he gave.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you might need help with homework, Miss Masters.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Oh, Lele says she's a Pisces too.
Hey.
Lele, do you know what you said, Flo?
You said that.
I said how unfortunate.
Oh. Dang.
Child, that don't mean nothing. You talking to a man that's sitting in a red light right now.
Show lamb.
Oh.
And
that's what's unfortunate.
Well, that's your opinion. Opinions like assholes, we all got them. Feel free to share yours too.
Okay, moving on.
Carry on, y'all. Carry on.
Love. So many people.
Hey, I'm chilling. She started it early. I'm just gonna finish what we started. Carry on.
He don't. Let's say what, Floyd?
Okay. Did he say unfortunate first?
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Yeah, he said unfortunate first.
You'll be all right.
I'm fine.
All right, so Floyd, may we have yours?
You want to start with the highest one?
Yes.
So the primary one was acts of service. It was 27%.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, some people say acts of service, but anyway, acts of service, because a lot of times it can be things that you may not necessarily want to do, but you do out of love. Apparently, that's what I was reading when I was looking at it or whatever. So I guess that's my primary love language. I've never taken one of these tests before till now. The second one was 23% for physical touch. So that makes a little bit of sense. I don't like everybody touching me, but certain people, yeah. 20, and then these two was the same. It was 20%. Quality time and receiving gifts were both 20%. And then last was words of affirmation, 10%. Because for me, words of affirmation don't mean nothing. Actions speak louder than words. So, but we all different, you know. So that was 10%.
Okay. I can see how acts of service and kind of physical touch are up there for you.
Yeah, you know, physical touch depending on, I don't know, because I'm kind of moody, so it all depends who it is. Had to be really into somebody to have them touching on me like that, but I get it. If I really care about a person, then I don't mind. So, yeah.
Well, that's a little weird then, I guess, because
it's unique.
Yeah, because you want it, but you don't want it.
I want it from the person I desire it from.
Okay.
Like I've never been like a, you know, just out and out hugger and all that old stuff. But if it's somebody I'm really into, I don't mind. So,
Understood.
Yeah, acts of service, I could understand that because I do like when, you know, if a person that care about me, if they do something, it doesn't necessarily have to be a material item. You know, it could be something as simple as, I don't know, sweeping the floor if I'm asleep or something. I don't know. You know, it does. Like I'm not highfalutin, so
that's that. Let me do that for
simple
you.
Things, yeah.
Okay, I get it. I gave a little insight. Lele, do you know your love languages?
She said it was QT.
Oh yeah, her main. Okay. Kool-Aid, what about you?
Huh?
I said I wanted
Kool-Aid is who it is.
Kool-Aid, you know your love languages, B?
I don't know.
If you still there?
We'll see if he comments in a little bit. I'm still odd and weirded out that my physical touch is so low.
Maybe it's the same. Like when you enter somebody, you probably want them to touch it, but maybe not. Like just everybody. That's what I got from like those low numbers. I think because the questions they were asking were kind of like situational, so to speak, to me.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of how the numbers went. Because like with quality time, like I don't mind being by myself. Like I enjoy it, but if I'm into somebody, I do enjoy being around that person that I'm into. So, you know, kind of go both ways.
Lele said physical touch is next for her. Well, I think for me, because like I said, QT, acts of service, and words of affirmation all tied in second for me at 20%. But QT for me is physical touch as well. Like we together, we touch and we here. So I don't know.
Didn't both of y'all have y'all's? It might not have been the same one, but your tie was at 20%.
Yeah, but his first was 27. Mine was 23.
Oh, okay.
Because his words of affirmation was what, 10%?
10%. Yeah. The words don't mean nothing.
He's serious about that, cause
they don't. I just come from. You know, just that shit don't mean nothing. Actions speak louder than words. A person can affirm all they want, you know, but if the actions don't stand behind what they're saying, then it means nothing.
I can't. But you know, it can go two ways though, because your words can also match your actions.
They can.
As far as being an affirmation.
Well, they can I understand what you're saying, but for me, words have to be backed up by action for me. So
no, I understand that. I'm just saying for somebody that will score high in that area, they could feel like they want your words to match your actions.
I mean, if your words match your actions, that's quite ideal, you know. But just overall, you know, I'd rather take the other thing.
So do you like compliments?
You know what? I have a hard time taking compliments. I think I've said that to y'all before. Like I do. I don't know what it is because I know they telling the truth. It's just that I have a hard time accepting compliments. I always have. I don't know why. Like I don't feel insecurities. It's nothing like that. It's like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's nothing insecure. It's nothing negative. It's just when people give me compliments, I'll accept them like thank you, but it kind of be like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know. I've always been like that.
And Lele said, I'm the type what's understood does not have to be said. So words of affirmation is low.
I would agree.
And then, hey, Kay, how you doing? We're glad you tuned in this evening.
What's your love language, Kay?
Dating.
He gonna get you.
Let me stop before he say something. Before he say something, I don't need to be said.
Say it.
All right, Dave said to Kay, Noop.
Oh Lord, we got some noops in the house.
Kay said QT.
Quality time. That was mine, Kay.
Lots of dates. Yes, QT.
So you just gonna keep throwing? I can't wait till he types something.
Shut up, Melinda. Shut up. Don't give him no idea.
Keep going in there. Lots of dates. But I was thinking on maybe I guess you could say a deeper if you want to delve into a deeper, so to speak. I know for me, I didn't have a solid connection or relationship with my father, my biological father, growing up. So I know when I initially dated, it got to a point probably like when I was in my 20s. Later on, of course, hindsight is 2020. Later on in like my 30s, I thought about my like dating habits and the type of situations that I would seek or cling to. And in a lot of instances, I was looking for a father's love in my dates or in the men that I dated. So I think for me, the quality time and the physical touch, it can go deep too, because I'm a firm believer in when children are growing up and what can be deemed as a healthy relationship. At some time, the daughter falls in love with the father, the son falls in love with the mother, so to speak. Like you, and then you start seeking those type of connections later on in your adult life. So if it's broken or there's some type of detachment, you know, that you have to be careful about what you seek in dating. It can be a fine line between wanting the wrong type of role or too much of a certain type of love language from your partner.
I can understand that. That makes sense.
Yes.
Kind of like my background growing up was more so like my family was very compartmentalized a lot of stuff. So the only time we really showed emotion was in times of like tragedy. Like if it was a death in the family or if there was anger or we was in war with somebody, something like that. So those hugs and those kisses and those things that you, whatever the hell normal is, a normal child would probably get, I may not have been privy to that. So that physical touch could translate into those past situations. So I can understand what you're saying. I agree with that.
Okay. That's where that psychology coming out, huh? All right, we had a few comments in between. Kay said, Aquarius love. And then Lele said, oh Lord, not an Aquarius. And then he said it to like with the smirk. And she gave him a LOL back. And then to me, he said, see, I'm trying to keep it PC before I expose. That comment will only be seen on the thing.
Oh, you are so dirty. Oh, wait a minute. Let me minimize my screen and go to the chat.
He said, typically your childhood trauma shape what your love language is.
Mm-hmm. That definitely can happen.
To a degree, I'd agree with that to an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if necessarily traumas all the time.
Yeah, not necessarily always trauma.
You could, just like a daughter, it's like a daughter who had a good relationship with her father, and her father might have gave her everything. Her love language might translate into what her father gave her. So those are the positive qualities that she may look for in the man that she seeks. So I think it goes both ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be trauma.
Yeah, because I feel like that's me.
Yeah.
My daddy gave me stuff, whatever I usually ask for. No, because that's my Papa Smurf. And words of affirmations were always given in the house. We spent quality time traveling and doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was more so with my mom than my dad because he was like the provider worker. So he missed some stuff. He showed up at what was important, like those when you were performing somewhere. He was there in his uniform because he usually got off work and came straight there. But yeah, so that was his quality time. And then we also did other stuff. So, it was what it was. I get it. I still
Kool-Aid ain't come back. I don't know what else.
Kool-Aid was like love language deuces.
Kool-Aid like, man, I ain't with all that love.
Like, I'm out on this episode. Uh-oh. Is Keely frozen on your screen? She frozen on mine.
Oh man, let me get this.
Do it.
Got to get that.
Don't you do it? What'd you do?
You was frozen.
What'd you do? I heard you. I can still hear.
I can put I'm getting the montage together because I got. Oh man, it's going down. When I put this together.
Do you see that?
Oh, Kay said operative word is typically, not always.
And that was to Floyd.
Okay then.
He said, but it also sets the example of what is important to you. That's why it is very important for a father to show a daughter what to look for in a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because a lot of these ninjas is not.
And see, when it on that note, it's very important that parents communicate certain things to children, even when they're children, because I don't think it wasn't like a wrong or right thing. It just was my mother didn't really discuss my father. And I rejected the fatherly love that my stepfather, who was in my life, who has been in my life since I was 4. So that's 45 years. Initially, this is when I was younger, I rejected what he had to offer in terms of being my father, because in my head, I was like, you're not my father. And so those were conversations that weren't had, that probably should have been, to whatever degree of or level of comprehension that it could have been discussed at that time when I was having those issues. Because especially when I was a teenager, when like I said, is generally the time when a young female starts getting the Google eyes, like, oh, my father's everything. You know what I'm saying? That's when I was fighting him the most. Mm-hmm. So then I lost out on, like you said, Keely, those things you look out for in ninjas. I didn't have that tool set. And then in my case specifically, because I was book smart, everybody assumed that I was street smart.
And that's a whole different smart, baby.
And that I didn't have to be handed those tools. Mm-hmm. Like, even I remember when I was older having conversations even with my brother, we're just a year apart. And I'm like, you would let me talk to some of your friends knowing they wasn't nothing. He's like, hell, I thought you knew better. No, I didn't. So that all of that definitely plays a part.
and then we got some in the comments stuff.
Okay.
So let's see. So Kay said it makes sense. And then Dave said a lot of these ninjas are feminine dressed as men.
This is true.
And then Kay wanted to know feminine dressed as men. Please expound. So we'll wait for that comment to come back. But yeah, so I know. Oh, he said they are feminine men. So I guess in terms of what he's saying, the only thing for me that even translate to is now in trying to be back in the dating world, I'm a person where I feel like a man should pursue me and I should not be pursuing the man. And a lot of guys that I have come across want for me to be pursuing them. And I'm not going to chase you. I want you to know that I'm interested, but I'm not going to be the one courting you. I'm not going to be planning dates. I'm not going to ask you out on a date. I'm not going to be the initiator of us courting. It should be you. You should be the lead of whatever this is. Because I'm strong, but I also want to be submissive at the same time to the right person. But you got to be the right person.
You know what's funny
That's
it's funny you said that, because I agree with what you said, right? But I remember being in the barbershops, you know, I was cutting hair back home. I used to hear guys make statements, and I'm not agreeing with it at all. But some of the statements that I would hear as a quote unquote justification was that, you know, these women they too independent and they think they men and stuff. And my response always was, well, if you feel that if you're intimidated by a woman to that degree, then, you know, you probably got some soul searching you need to do. But those are some of the excuses that some guys give. But I agree with you. I think the man should court the woman, you know, and the man should pursue. I think the woman should show interest and the man should pursue. That's just how I was taught.
Yeah. So, and that is not out here right now. I am so disgusted.
It's
with what I come across.
I've seen videos of women proposing to dudes, and that just really blew me. So that really blew me. I think that's really weird.
Let me put this comment up. It says, well, Keely thank their mammy for it because that's the model they probably seen in their mother chasing men.
True.
Well, you do model what you do. Lele said, bingo, Floyd, I have been told I am too independent. So I think for that, I'm a little confused on what that definition is, because if right now I'm single and I'm by myself, guess what I got to be? Independent. When you meet me, you're coming into me being single by myself and holding everything down on my own. Now, if you come in and you're that one, then you got some oomph and some gumption about you, and I don't mind backing down and letting you do what you want to do. I don't want to take care of all this by myself. Help me.
Yeah, I just think it's different strokes for different folks, unfortunately. Because I was raised in a single parent household for a very long time, but there was still traditional values that I was taught. And I saw my mother, you know, quote unquote, chase men, but it never was in my mind for a woman to chase me. So I just think it's really, you know, where you come from, what your surroundings are, you know, things like that. So exactly. I don't understand it myself. So, you know, why, you know, men feel like women should chase.
Okay, so C Renee TV said, I wish I would propose to a man. What in the world? Right. And then Dave said to Kay, Noop, I'd really have to verbally explain it if you didn't get the short version. So let's in that we might have to have some guest appearances one night on a deeper level. All right. So Kay said a strong man would love an independent partner, so we are equally yoked. Dave said, I ain't searching for equal at all. Oh, really? Okay. He said, I married my soulmate, but we are not equals.
Okay.
So what are you?
Everybody, I think he's, well, I'm going to let him go ahead and explain that.
Yeah, yeah. Expound, please.
Because I think I know where you're going with that, but I'm gonna let him go ahead and say that.
Okay.
Well, I say this while they're typing on the sidebar. It's just so many. Oh my goodness! I knew this is what was going to happen with this love language, because it's just so many layers to it. It's so many levels to it. Like everything is a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, what you're speaking on now, the strong, independent woman. A lot of women developed into that or that mentality because of the lack of support from a man or a partner. So they develop that mentality. I don't need a man for anything.
Oh, but I don't have that mentality though.
No.
But that's what I was gonna say.
I'm not saying you. I'm talking in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, but on the flip side, you have women that are strong and independent because they may be an alpha woman, but that doesn't mean that they don't want a man that's just as strong or just as independent.
That you kind of touched. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
So, like you said, Floyd, it just depends upon the people and the situation, because people can take that definition and apply the way that they want to, but it may not be the same as the 5 other women or the 5 other men that's standing around them.
Yeah. See, in my experience, I've been around many alpha women, many independent women. But I think it's very important that we understand that it's a difference between, like we say, a man or a real man, a woman, a real woman, whatever, because there are a lot of real independent women who know how to, for lack of a better word, play their role when they meet a strong man. Absolutely. So you can be 2 independent people that meet, but then you understand what each other's role is once you become a union, whether that's relationship, marriage, or whatever. Right. So I think, that's a certain point that need to be made as well, because there are some independent women who I don't need no man, blah, 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 and they, try to dominate a man if the man allows that. But if it's a real man and a real woman coming together that's independent at their own, they're going to understand what each other's role is, because it's a partnership. And they're gonna understand what each other's role is and move forward that way. That's just my opinion on that and what I've experienced.
Even people's partnerships are unique.
And we got our comment section blowing up, y'all. Let me check them up real quick.
Well, come on.
Okay, so Kay said, "Boom, there is the problem." He did a laughing my ass off. So then Dave said, "I can't type it. Go Floyd. I'm too long-winded to be in the comment section. We might have to have you on one night." So Kay also said that's what he was speaking on, the latter part of what Melinda gave the example of. Mm-hmm. Then C. Renee TV said independence was a survival mechanism, but can be relaxed when someone else is leading. I always say I can be the boss at work, but I really don't want to be it at home if I don't have to.
Right.
Lele said, I think, however, being independent is confused with being an alpha woman. Men have a need to be needed. If he doesn't feel needed, then problems arise.
Oh, good point.
But see, then again, but if you know what your role is, those things don't happen. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can both be independent people and strong people, but when you come together, you understand what each other's role is. But everybody teaches on in terms of opinion. So
okay, and then Kay said, wait, the missing part to your point, Floyd, is most real women only play their part when they respect their partner to lead.
Well, that was the point that I'm making when I was saying that if 2 independent people are coming together, they understand their role. To a real man, a real woman, that the key word being real, I'm agreeing with you. But when they come together, they both understand their role. So yeah, it is a matter of respect. But that respect comes with that understanding of each other's roles, because they're 2 independent people coming together. So they already have that understanding of who they are and what this is when they come together. So it's kind of those things that don't need to be said but understood, like Salatha was mentioning earlier. So I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but I think we were saying the same things, just different ways. But yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, I mean, I agree with the survival mechanism because, like I said, ain't nobody gonna take care of my house but me for right now because it's just me. And then when somebody else comes in, if you want it, you got it. Or relinquishing it. Take over, Big Daddy. You got this.
And when I was speaking on the roles, being even varying, I remember I was I was dating this guy and he told me if we got married that when I got paid, then I would relinquish the check to him and that he would run all of the finances. And he would give me like a what's the word I'm trying to look for? That you give you
allowance.
Yes, I can't even get it out. Yes. And he was dead serious. And I was like, oh, well, this ain't even gonna make it nowhere near the marriage stage. But
allowance.
But there are some women that don't have a problem being in that situation, and that part of
that might need to be a conversation for another show. Like what because different people have a different understanding of what those roles are.
Absolutely.
So that's why I was saying before,
that's why you have to have a conversation about finances.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but when two people come together, there's a conversation. So what's your understanding of what your role is going to be? Because everybody's understanding of what their roles are varies based on who they are and what their experiences are. So some people live like that, some people don't. Some people have a partnership where they funds come together, they take care of what they need to take care of. And then unfortunately, I guess it's some people who relinquish the check. That's some old school stuff. I haven't heard about that since my grandparents was
I was like, huh?
So. Yeah, but you know what's funny though? My grandparents, my grandfather would come home when he got paid. I do remember this growing up. And he would give his check to his wife.
Right. And I'm like, you go the other way, bro.
Well, this is just my grandparents. I don't know what they understand it was, but my grandfather, he smoked cigarettes, and on Friday, he would only have a drink on Fridays. Mm-hmm. And so he would come home from work because he worked a lot of hours. He would give my grandmother the check. She would go get his cigarettes, his drink, whatever else he wanted. And then she would go pay all of the bills. Mm-hmm. And whatever that was left, she put into the bank, but they had a joint bank account. And she would put that into the bank, and then that's just how they lived. I don't know what they understand.
And so sometimes in that, and I can say that in looking at my parents, my dad is not the best financial person. So my mother handles the finances, but he made all the money. My mom ain't worked since she was pregnant with me. Okay. And that's 42 years.
Right.
But it's always money. It goes on. Who is the better person to sustain the household?
Right. Yeah, they never went without, never had a problem, any of that. And they had a lot of money saved up, but that's just how they roll. I don't know why, but that's just how they roll. So,
and that goes back to what Kay said about the respect as well. Because that right there, I think we all can say we've seen in somebody's relationship in our family back in the day, because that was the old school mentality. That was the old school mentality of the man being the provider and the protector.
And the woman took care of everything else. So those are the roles again.
And whether he could manage finances or not, that money better be in the bank because I'm handing you that check every week. You know, if I need something, you better be able to go to the bank and get out what I need. Mm-hmm. And that was a matter of trust and respect for one another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they had an understanding of roles.
I would say even I would go as far as to say I didn't even really hear about like prenups and stuff like that back then.
Yeah, I never heard anything like that.
You know, what was understood didn't need to be explained. Like we don't have to go through that pettiness. Well, mainly because a lot of them wasn't planning on splitting. I'll say that as well. Yeah, but I'm just saying it definitely was the man hands over his whole check to his wife with a lot of expectation grounded in handing that money over.
Right. Well, then again, that goes back into what is your definition of your understanding of roles? Because with that said, The woman who did not work at the time, depending on the situation, she took care of home, she took care of the food, she took care of the kids, she took care of the shop, she took care of the cleaning, she paid the bills. And the man's job was to go to work, protect, and provide. So again, that goes in the definition of what roles, it was. So I get that.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's catch up these comments. Fat Goddess said, thank you all for your comments and participation. All this is not associated to your other comment, but Kay said he need his check. And then he said allowance, laughing my ass off. It really is. Let's see, where did it go? We had so many, y'all. Well, I got to get back up here. It really is about roles or what each other's strengths are and who should govern. But old school women took care of finances. Dave said, if y'all are equals, then isn't it 50-50 down the board?
But again, that comes with the understanding.
Back to that comment. Let me catch up these. I'm gonna come back to your
go ahead,
comment.
because I was gonna say something.
Hey,
to that,
Tanika.
go ahead.
Yeah. Tanika on there. She said,
I'm coming down. I'm coming down. Okay. You came back and said, right, Kay. Dave said, don't sound like they are equals. I'm gonna come back to you. Dave, I'm coming to you. Tanika said, damn, I have missed it. See, Renee TV said, save, I would disagree. They went with the strengths in their relationships.
Okay.
Oh, Dave. She meant Dave. Okay. They went with the strengths in their relationship.
Okay.
And then Kay said exactly. Then also here you go with this roles word. If one has strengths and the other doesn't, then that is not an equal. Dave, I'm coming to you. One is stronger. We need to have Dave on here because Jesus Christ.
Dave, Kay, and Renee need to come on.
Yes. See, Renee. Well, if we both have the same strengths and weaknesses, then we're in trouble. Thank you. See, Renee, because I was about to say it. But anyway, we should be filling in for each other to ensure that there are no gaps.
Come on, Dave.
Dave said, my wife is a divine feminine and I am a superior man.
Okay.
Well, we got to get some definitions on that. And then Kay said, we are equals, not roommates.
You need to go ahead and send them the link so they can come on here right now.
Yeah, we might have to do a part 2 to this.
Yes.
And have y'all as yes if y'all are up for it, so we can have full-on discussions. Because like Dave said, he is not a comment person, and neither is Kay or C. Renee. Tonight the comments are lit and I love it. But yeah, so going back to Dave, when he said, if y'all are equals, then isn't it 50-50 down the board? Are you referring to who pays what? Because part of being with somebody is being equally yoked. You're supposed to be the yin to their yang. So stuff that you are, and going back to what C. Renee said, if we both have the same strengths and the same weaknesses, we're going to fail every time because nobody is covering the other person's stuff, which is what you're supposed to be when you're in a couple.
If you look at a relationship as a partnership,
yes,
then everything that is done, you can call it strengths or weaknesses. We can argue about the word roles and all of that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship, it's a partnership. Everything you do is for the greater good of you as a couple.
Exactly.
So if you want to call it strengths and weaknesses, I wouldn't call it that. I would just say, hey, this person knows how to manage finances. I know how to go to work and take care of my business. So you use what you have for the betterment or for the greater good of the relationship. It's a partnership. So I don't think necessarily if one person is providing and one person takes the check and pays the bills, that one is not equal. I just think they're working within a partnership. That's what it is.
Exactly. So, and that's what I'm saying. When he said about you're not equals and should it be 50-50 down the board, you are technically, because
you're doing
you're complementing each other. It's not that I'm supposed to have the same thing in terms of what I can do that you do, but we're supposed to be able to complement each other. And that's where the 50-50 comes in, because then we create a whole.
Okay,
but Stephen A said preach to you, Floyd. And then Dave said equal, by my definition, is the sum of two products. Not what I'm bringing is equal to what you are bringing.
I understand your mindset, Dave, but I'm just going to say still.
Dave said
right.
he's going
okay,
more
right on
live, Keely.
Okay.
Right. But I understand what he's saying. But at the same time, it's, we all had different ways of how we look at this. So I just look at it as a partnership. Everything you do is for the greater good of the relationship. What one may see as strengths versus weaknesses, I just see as attributes that one has and the other has that can be used toward the greater good of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Exactly.
That's just my opinion on it.
And it's just a word of semantics. Some of them mean the same.
Yeah, there's a lot of semantics going on, believe you me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The other, there was something else I did want to mention, and where was it? Oh, Dave, can you tell me where the definition of a divine feminine and a superior man are found, so I can read up on that?
You got to get that book, Where the Superior Man.
Oh, that's what it's in.
It's a book called Where the Superior Man. He put me up on that book. It's a good book.
Okay. Tanika said, I am so mad I missed this damn work. You can always go back and watch it. It'll be up in a little bit. It's very interesting. All night. We had great comments. I'm so excited. But yeah, so I will contact you all, and let's see. Kay said the divine feminine is the spiritual concept that there exists a feminine counterpart to the patriarchal and masculine worship structures that have long dominated organized religions. Okay.
Oh, y'all doing it tonight. This is like about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 episodes.
Lele said the conversation is great. This is the most we have commented. I know. They said it don't hit the same when it ain't live. I know. We got to get y'all on here so y'all can be live and we can all talk and have a great roundtable conversation about it.
But just check out the book Where the Superior Man Killed. It'll give you insight into what he's saying.
I will, because I do want to. I don't want to. I hate talking about something that I'm not versed on or haven't read or know about. Thanks, Kay. But yeah, so what we will also do, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, I will reach out to people in the comments. If you are okay with going live on this topic, you can either DM me and let me know, or if you want to put here that you're up, like Dave has said that he's down, then please do that, and I'll contact you all so that you could be on next week, so we can have a roundtable, because we do need a part 2, and I need for everybody to be able to express themselves and not in that little short comment section. Let's see. Dave said he got the link. Floyd has his contact. If not, he'll air it out in the comment section. IDGAL. Now we want you to be able to say what you want to say with your mouth. We want all the smoke. Bring it out.
I'll text you his number so you can get to him.
Okay.
Since he gives permission to do so.
Okay, Melinda said it's not yours. I'm gonna let y'all handle that on the side note. All right, Dave is gonna send the link for the book.
No, I know it. I got your number, Dave. I'm gonna send it to her. Her right after the show. I got you.
Perfect. So
I'm sorry, I can see the YouTube comments before y'all.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, because it's not. I'm seeing them over here too. But it still ain't came up on this side. That's crazy. But anyway, so Kay said, you sure you want that energy from me,
Wait, who
Melinda?
we talking to?
That's what Kay said.
I don't think that one was for me because he said I was typing fast heifer to me.
Yeah, because he said, are you sure you want the energy from him? Dave said, speaking of smoke, Floyd,
I'm
I'm
tobacco
tobacco
free.
free, by the
Oh
way.
man, congratulations, man! I'm so glad.
Yay!
When we
Woo!
first met, we talked about
It's
that.
for
I
you.
told him I had stopped smoking 4 years ago. So congratulations, man. Hang in there.
Yes, most
Congratulations, man.
definitely.
That's really great.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right on.
Melinda said, LOL, love you, Kay. He said there's a delay on the comments. It really is. And he said it is for you, Melinda.
Yeah.
I knew it was for you. You didn't know it was for you. But I felt it.
Okay, well, then let me tell him this.
Ooh, just say it, Gary.
I want it to be seen by everybody.
Oh, oh my. Anywho, that's why I stopped talking back up at the top when I was poking a little bit. I stopped poking the back because I don't want that smoke. I don't need nothing exposed. It don't need to be exposed. We're gonna keep it real PC. Like, girl, you still typing over there?
Yep.
Oh. Oh, you said it. He said it is it's not it's. He said, don't tell me sugar honey iced tea. Dave said, I ain't hanging in there. I'm climbing up higher.
Right on. Right on. Right on. I
Yes,
got you.
come
Right
on,
on, man.
elevation.
Keep climbing higher,
Elevation.
then, brother. Keep climbing higher. Right on.
Yes, because the after end up there, you need all your lung power. That's why the smoking helps. Stop smoking. That's right. So does anybody else for tonight have any other comments on this topic, or are we going to put a pin in it and get everybody together so that we can be ready for part 2 to have a roundtable discussion?
I don't have
Yes,
anything
no,
else to say
maybe.
about it.
Huh?
I don't have anything else to say about it
Okay, so we will
at
prep.
this time.
I'll get prepping and we will be ready for part 2 on next Monday. I am so excited. We'll have a round table. I will reach out to you all, and if you all are, Dave said touche, okay with being on, we will have you on, and I will get everybody's information, links, everything. See Renee TV. I don't have your information. If you can send me an email with your information, if you're okay with being on, that will be great. I'm going to put my Tanika said, what's up with the red, Floyd?
Huh?
She said, what's up with the red?
Oh, I just got red lights in my office and in my other rooms upstairs. It's just something that I like, something I enjoy, keep me calm. I just like the color. Always have in my rooms. Nothing major.
So I put my email in the chat if you email me your information, so that I can get you on. That will be great. She said that's cool.
Right on.
All right. So do you have I love you but?
I do.
Okay. All right. Well, it's time for I love you, but we still need your suggestions sent to the Fat Goddess, and that's FACKT goddess at gmail.com, which will be in the description below. I will also have in the description below the link to the 5 love languages quiz. And hold on, let's see. See, Renee said, okay, I will do that. I will be a little late because I have a Zoom call directly before this on Mondays. No problem. Whatever time you can join, we will welcome you in and just send your information. That'll be perfect. I'll send you the link and you can join in whenever you get a chance. So yes, so Fat Goddess, take it away.
All right. So I decided to do it on love, since we were talking about love languages and how the meaning differs for um, each person or individual. So love can be a noun. And I went to my handy dandy Merriam-Webster. Um, so when you're using it as a noun, they say the essential meaning of love, there's three of them. One is a feeling or strong, I'm sorry, a feeling of strong or constant affection for a person, like motherly maternal love or fatherly paternal love. The second one is an attraction that includes sexual desire, the strong affection felt by people who have a romantic relationship. For instance, a declaration of love, or he was just a lonely man looking for love. And the third essential meaning, if it's used as a noun, is a person you love in a romantic way. Lost love, you never forget your first love, or he was her one true love. Um, then love as a verb, to hold dear or cherish, to feel a lover's passion, devotion, or tenderness. To caress, to fondle um, amorously, or to copulate with, to like or desire actively, or take pleasure in, or to thrive in. Those were all transitive verbs. And then an intransitive verb is to feel affection or experience desire. So even when you're using the word love, it's a matter of the definition that fits your situation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm done.
All right. So, Dave, I hope you were able to see that. See, Renee, I attached my email address. I usually just need your email. I'll send you all out some information, and a link for that night. And also, oh, it was the segment was 5 love languages. Do you know yours? And it went
Maybe
to
they
Renee.
maybe they can take the test if they haven't.
That's why I said I have the link in the
Oh,
bottom
okay.
if you want to take the test. If you have not, I attached it in the description. And then I'll also contact you a day or two before time, and then also the day of. So if that is all hearts and minds clear,
They're clear.
Floyd.
Oh yeah, everything is fine. I just want to send a shout out to Miss Molly White. I found out I have a sister on my father's side. Her name is Molly White. She's 60 years old. So I just want to send a shout out to her. I love you, and I can't wait to see you and talk to you.
All right, shout out, new sis. Uh, Dave, no. He asked if we need any apps or specific devices. No, you don't. Um, just if you're gonna be on your phone, you can do it with the camera phone. If you want to do it on a computer, you can do it there, just as long as your camera works and you have sound.
Laptop or iPad or
Yep.
Oh
tablet.
shit! Shout out to Janelle and Derek Moore. My fault. Sorry. Love y'all, cuz. I hope y'all was watching.
All right. So that concludes our show for this evening. Thank you all for joining us as we do our best to give you the content you deserve. Feel free to keep the conversation going below in the comments. We do look forward to reading those and we respond. We are so thankful for all the comments that we got tonight. Tonight was lit. Thank y'all so much. Again, thanks for watching. If you have not, make sure to thumbs up this video, share, like, tell a friend, subscribe, click the notification bell, and
Dang
don't
it.
forget we are available on everywhere that you listen to your podcast, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, GeoSaving, iHeartRadio, and of course, here on YouTube. Yay! All right. So, Floyd, you're not gonna say your line?
Nah.
We're gonna let him slide today. Anyway, thank you again for watching. We will see you all next week on GoddeSShips podcast at 9 p.m. on Mondays, because every ship matters.
All ships aren't the same.
And life is lived on ships.
All right. Good night.